Capitalism, Socialism, and Democracy by Joseph A. Schumpeter. Part 1. The Marxian Doctrine. Prologue. Most of the creations of the intellect or fancy pass away for good after a time that varies between an after-dinner hour and a generation. Some, however, do not. They suffer eclipses, but they come back again, and they come back not as unrecognizable elements of a cultural inheritance, but in their individual garb and with their personal scars, which people may see and touch. These we may well call the great ones. It is no disadvantage of this definition that it links greatness to vitality. Taken in this sense, this is undoubtedly the word to apply to the message of Marx. But there is an additional advantage to defining greatness by revivals. It thereby becomes independent of our love or hate. We need not believe that a great achievement must necessarily be a source of light or faultless in either fundamental design or details. On the contrary, we may believe it to be a power of darkness. We may think it fundamentally wrong or disagree with it on any number of particular points. In the case of the Marxian system, such adverse judgment or even exact disproof, by its very failure to injure fatally, only serves to bring out the power of the structure. The last 20 years have witnessed a most interesting Marxian revival. That the great teacher of the socialist creed should have come into his own in Soviet Russia is not surprising, and it is only characteristic of such processes of canonization that there is between the true meaning of Marx's message and the Bolshevist practice and ideology, at least as great a gulf as there was between the religion of humble Galileans and the practice and ideology of the princes of the church or the warlords of the Middle Ages. But another revival is less easy to explain, the Marxian revival in the United States. This phenomenon is so interesting because until the 20s, there was no Marxian strain of importance in either the American labor movement or in the thought of the American intellectual. What Marxism there was always had been superficial, insignificant, and without standing. Moreover, the Bolshevist type of revival produced no similar spurt in those countries which had previously been most steeped in Marxology. In Germany, notably, which of all countries had the strongest Marxian tradition, a small Orthodox sect indeed kept alive during the post-war socialist boom as it had during the previous depression, but the leaders of the socialist thought, not only those allied to the Social Democratic Party, but also those who went much beyond.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?